That first night, I didn't believe the shadows were real. It started with breathing. Not loud, not ragged, just there. A slow, patient inhale from somewhere beyond my bedroom door. I lay frozen under my blanket, staring at the faint glow of my alarm clock. 3:17 a.m. The red numbers burned into the darkness. I told myself it was the house settling, old pipes, wind in the vents. Then the breathing stopped, and then something scratched softly at the wood of my door. I heard the stories before. Everyone had. A pale face in the dark, a carved smile too wide for any human jaw, eyes that never blinked, a whisper in the night.
Go to sleep.
I used to laugh at them until he started coming to my house. The first sighting happened 3 weeks ago. I was in the kitchen grabbing a glass of water when I noticed the back door was open. Just slightly, enough for cold night air to snake across the tile floor. I was sure I had locked it. I stepped closer and saw him standing in the backyard. He wasn't moving, just staring through the glass. Moonlight painted him in silver. White hoodie, black pants, bare feet on frozen grass. And that face. That horrible, stretched grin carved into skin that looked too tight over bone. His eyes reflected the porch light like a predator's. I couldn't scream. He lifted one finger to his lips and mouthed something I couldn't hear. Then he stepped backward into the dark. Gone. No footprints. No sign of forced entry. The police didn't take me seriously. They claimed it was teenagers probably playing a prank. But they didn't see the way the grass had bent. They didn't feel the air change when he vanished. But I did. And that's when I brought the camera. It was supposed to make me feel safe. A small black security camera mounted above my bedroom door. It connected to my phone. It had motion detection, night vision, two-way audio. If anything moved in my room while I slept, I would know. I tested it the first night. I walked around, waved at it, spoke into it. It was a clear image and it had perfect sound. I went to bed feeling almost confident. Then came 3:17 a.m. My phone vibrated on the nightstand. Motion detected. My heart slammed against my ribs. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. Slowly, painfully slowly, I reached for my phone and opened the camera app. The live feed showed my bedroom. It was dark, quiet, empty. At that point I frowned, but then I saw it. At the edge of the frame near my closet door, a sliver of white fabric. Someone was standing just outside the camera's view, watching me. My chest tightened. The figure leaned slightly into frame. Just enough so I could see that pale face slide into view. He wasn't looking at the camera. He was looking at me. Through the screen I could see myself sleeping in the bed. Except I wasn't asleep. I was staring at my phone, watching him watch me. His grin widened. He raised his hand, and slowly, painfully slowly, he waved. I gasped. In that instant, the live feed cut to static. I shot upright in my bed. Looking around, my room was empty. The closet door was closed. No white hoodie, no pale face, nothing. But the air smelled faintly of something metallic, like blood. After that night, he started appearing more often. Not just outside, but inside too. He was always just beyond the camera's angle. If I adjusted it, he'd stand somewhere else. If I moved it to face the window, he'd appear by the door. If I aimed it at the door, he'd be behind the curtain. It was like he knew exactly where it could see and where it couldn't. The footage was always the same. He never approached the bed. He just stood, watching, sometimes for hours. One night I reviewed the recordings from 3:17 to 4:45 a.m. He didn't move, he didn't blink, he didn't even shift his weight. He just stared at me, at the camera, at both. I tried staying awake. I drank coffee until my hands shook. I sat in bed clutching a kitchen knife. At 3:16 nothing happened. At 3:17 my lights flickered. The camera notification buzzed. I didn't look at my phone this time. I looked at the door. And there he was, standing in the corner. Not on the screen, but in real life. The camera's tiny red light blinked. It was recording. He tilted his head at me like a curious animal. I tightened my grip on the knife. "Get out," I whispered. He took one slow step forward. My body locked. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. His voice slid into the room like a blade. Soft, broken, barely a whisper.
Why are you awake?
I tried to answer, but nothing came out. He took another step. Now he was at the foot of my bed. His grin stretched impossibly wider.
You're supposed to be asleep.
The camera fell from the wall. It hadn't been touched. It just dropped. It crashed onto the floor, and the red light shattered. Darkness swallowed the room, and I blacked out. When I woke up, it was morning. The camera lay in pieces beside my bed. My knife was gone. and carved into the wooden footboard there were 3 words.
Go to sleep.
I don't remember him touching it. I don't remember him leaving. But the message was real. The police came again. They dusted for prints, but found nothing. They took the broken camera, told me to consider therapy. I ordered another one that same day. This one I mounted in the corner of the ceiling, out of reach. I also installed cameras in the hallway, the living room, the kitchen. If he wanted to lurk, I'd see him coming. The first night after installation, I didn't even try to sleep. I sat in my living room with every light on, staring at the 4-screen monitor setup. Midnight, nothing. 1 a.m, nothing. 2 a.m, nothing. 3:16 a.m. My stomach knotted. At 3:17 a.m, all 4 screens went black at once. Not static, just black. My heart pounded so hard, I thought I'd pass out. Then slowly, one by one, the screens flickered back on. Living room, empty. Kitchen, empty. Hallway. He was standing directly beneath the camera, looking up at it. His face filled the frame. His eyes were wide, unblinking, and that grin, that endless grin. He opened his mouth and spoke. The sound came through the monitor speakers, distorted, glitching.
You like to watch.
The hallway camera feed glitched violently. His face jerked unnaturally. Movements too sharp, too fast.
You think it makes you safe.
The screen cracked. Not physically, but like a spiderweb fracture across the image.
You're wrong.
All screens went black again. I screamed. The lights in my house shut off, every single one. I was swallowed in darkness. And then I felt breath on my neck. Warm, slow, patient.
Go to sleep.
I spun around, swinging wildly. My fist hit empty air. The lights flickered back on. The monitors returned. Hallway, empty. Living room, empty. Kitchen, empty. Front door closed. Deadbolt locked. I was alone, except for one thing. On the living room wall, written in something dark and wet,
I'm always here.
I stopped leaving the house after that. I quit my job and I ordered groceries online. I couldn't risk him following me outside, or worse, bringing him back with me. The camera footage grew stranger. Sometimes he'd appear at times other than 3:17, standing in the kitchen, opening cabinets. Once, He stood in front of the camera for 6 hours straight, not moving. I played the footage back at high speed. He didn't twitch once, not even to blink. I zoomed in on his eyes. They weren't normal. They were too dark, too deep, like holes punched through reality. And once I saw something move inside them, like something looking out from behind his gaze. The worst night came last Tuesday. I fell asleep. I didn't mean to, but exhaustion dragged me under. When I woke, it was still dark. I felt wrong, like something was off. My room looked the same, but the air felt thicker, heavier. I reached for my phone, but there was no signal. My battery was at 100%, yet it had no service. The camera app wouldn't load. Then I noticed something in the corner of my ceiling. The camera was there, but it wasn't pointing at the room. It was turned, facing directly down at me. That wasn't how I installed it. Slowly, my eyes shifted towards the doorway. He was sitting in a chair beside my bed, and I don't own a chair. He was just sitting there, hands folded in his lap, watching me. Up close, his face was worse. The skin around his carved smile was torn and shiny. His lips were peeled back permanently, teeth exposed. His eyes were bloodshot but wide. So wide.
You're tired.
He whispered. I couldn't move. Tears streamed down my temples into my hair.
You fight it every night.
He leaned forward. The chair creaked softly.
But you always sleep.
His grin twitched.
And when you do,
He stood up slowly and walked to the camera. He reached up and turned it so it would face the wall.
then I can watch you properly.
He stepped back towards me. My vision blurred. My body felt heavy. Why? I managed to croak. His head tilted.
As long as you're awake,
He said softly.
I can't come all the way in.
Cold flooded my veins. What does that mean? His smile widened impossibly.
It means you shouldn't have bought the camera.
He leaned close to my ear.
So now, I have to wait until you sleep.
His fingers brushed my forehead, ice cold, and everything went black. I woke up outside in my backyard. The grass was wet with dew. The sky was grey with early morning light. My house stood quiet behind me. The front door was wide open, and I stumbled inside. Every camera was gone. Not broken, gone. Wires were hanging loose. Monitors were smashed. On the wall above my bed, carved deep into the plaster, there was a message.
You're getting sleepy.
And beneath it, a new message.
I'm almost in.
I haven't slept in 2 days. Every time I close my eyes, I see him standing closer. Each time I blink, he's nearer. He doesn't need the cameras anymore. I see him in reflections. In the TV screen, in the microwave door, in the dark surface of my phone. Always behind me. Always smiling. He doesn't attack. He doesn't rush. He's patient. He waits for the moment my body betrays me. Because he told me the truth. As long as I'm awake, he can't come all the way in. But I'm so tired. My vision doubles. Shadows stretch and twist. And sometimes, I hear breathing behind me. It's 3:16 a.m. right now. I'm telling you this because I'm scared I won't be able to fight much longer. My eyes keep closing. My head keeps dropping. I just heard something in the hallway. Soft footsteps. Slow. They stopped outside my bedroom door. The handle just twitched. 3:17. The lights flickered. The breathing started. And I don't think I can stay awake anymore. If you don't hear from me again, and if you ever decide to install a camera because something is watching you, make sure it's not watching back. Because once you try to see him, he sees you. And when you finally fall asleep, he comes all the way in. The door is opening. He's here. And he is smiling. If you are based in the UK and would like to enjoy freshly batch roasted coffee delivered to your door, visit vitalcoffee.co.uk and use the coupon code mrfreakystory to get 10% off from all products. I will leave a link in the description below.